Morning, everybody.
Morning.
I'm going to call this meeting to order on Thursday, November 13th, 2025 at 9:06 a.m. Let's do our roll call here. We have Adam
Here.
and Emily's not here.
Emily's not joining.
Okay. Quincy.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Jennifer.
Here.
Okay. And then ex officio and advisory, we have Deb,
Here.
Dan, and Martha. She's here. And Todd. Let's.
Mark.
I am sorry, Mark.
I'm just a visitor.
I think you're done.
I
being
think
a
I
visitor.
usually recognize you later on in the thing. You're just like, sorry. You are highly valued, Mark.
Yeah.
Let's move to the approval of minutes last month. Does everybody have access to that, whether on the screen or on your screen or paper? Okay. I'll give you a couple minutes to look down through that. Any questions or comments on last month's minutes? All right, do I have a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve the minutes.
And a second.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, moving on to old business. We had quite a few shifts this month with the Diedrich building. So looks here on the agenda, looks like on the agenda, we have open house planning. Dan, do you want to jump in here or anything?
Yeah, at this point, just kind of hoping to set a date. I just kind of not randomly, but kind of aimed tentatively for January 10th, which would be the second Saturday, to avoid anything too close to the holiday. People maybe being gone. So if we can kind of tentatively at least pick that date, and then maybe in December when things are a little more solidified.
I wouldn't be available that day.
You would not be available that day. Okay.
Everybody grab your calendar sheet.
My dad gets home from Oregon that day, so I'm his ride.
Ooh,
Yeah.
17th is the next.
Do want to let everybody though be aware, the upstairs did test positive for lead paint, with the chips on the floor. So we're currently in the process of doing further testing today. So the cleanup, we'll figure out on what to do with that and make it community safe for people to go upstairs. But the downstairs may have to be the spot in the presentation.
we're not surprised.
I was
about
gonna
that.
say, that's not really surprising, is it?
No,
I was gonna
but it's all over the floor and there's
Mhm.
chips everywhere.
Yeah, that to be tracked places.
So they'll eat them.
Yeah.
So, we'll sorry,
I don't want to risk any kids or anybody
No.
coming back with anything.
we'll definitely get some more information back about that.
Yeah.
But
I
at
think a
least
lot
if
of
we-
these, the HEPA filters,
Mhm.
vacuuming those up, so.
Some potential things there, but at least we can pick a date for now and kind of see how that progresses. And if we need to make changes later, we can do so for sure.
17th, how does that look for everybody?
I will be unavailable, but if that works best for the group, that is fine.
Let's just quickly look at the 24th then and see how that looks any better.
I'm free.
January's pretty wide open on Saturdays.
And that would work.
I won't be here, but that does not matter. Y'all can do this easily, so.
Is a Saturday the best day versus a Sunday for everybody? Doesn't have to be Saturday, but maybe if that's best for everybody, that's fine.
I'm old and have an open social calendar, so
Yeah, my open down on after
I've got a
Christmas.
kid's birthday on the 28th, so to the 24th or 31st, it could be with that weekend. But
Oh, as far as the party.
I'm the one that decides that day, so.
Okay.
So whatever would be available, then I could decide. He's just lucky his birthday is in the middle of the week.
There you go. Absolutely. Do you have any thoughts? Or another?
So we're getting close to the proposed public meeting on the 27th. I don't think that's a problem having it around that time, so.
Yeah, I think our goal is just to hopefully have the open house, assuming we can, still in January.
Yeah.
It's a little bit there, but
And I'm good on those dates that we were so far, January, Saturday.
okay.
So Deb, what do Sundays look like for you?
Sunday afternoons are open, all except the 25th.
How does everybody else feel about Sundays?
Doesn't bother me.
You might get more community involvement. I've never tried something on a
We had the
Sunday.
fire station dedication on Sunday afternoon.
That was pretty good, wasn't
Yeah, I think it was, everyone want to see that though.
it? Yeah.
Everyone want to see this
I
too.
think, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of people that want to see this too.
Yeah, and Sundays seem to be more open. You know, at that after lunchtime hour, that 2 to
Yeah.
2 to 4-ish, or
Mm-hmm.
Should we aim for the 18th maybe, just to give us a little cushion if something additional needs to be done upstairs? Everything? How's everybody for the 18th?
I'm clear.
Okay, cool. You can aim for the 18th, and then, as
Sure.
far as kind of what we talked about in October for program, we can discuss that more in December, because we'll actually have 2 meetings now before the open house. So we can discuss that in December. I do know Emily will be gone the whole month of January. She told me that, and so she will be unable to provide food for that day. So we can everybody think about that a little bit, what that wants to look like, and then in December, we can maybe discuss that a little bit more.
Can I get a motion then for the January 18th open house date?
I'll motion. We take January 18th as our open house.
In a second.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, same side. I think it's just the 3 of us today, so I'll jump in and do a first or a second here. Okay, so okay, that date has been officially ratified. And so Dan, you had suggested to wait on the conversation on the event program till next couple meetings.
Yeah, maybe in December. I mean, I don't see anything changing much from what we discussed in October. But maybe we can, when things are a little bit better determined upstairs, we can do some more planning as far as that goes. And I don't want to cut off any discussion today. If more discussion wants to be had, or anybody has any comments to make about that, we do have time, of course, but
And it's heated in there, right? Like, is that the pipes have to stay above freezing?
if
First floor is.
the first floor is,
So that would.
yeah,
straighten it.
and upstairs, as we've been up there, doing a few things, it wasn't so bad. I was in there Monday, for a couple hours, putting up some lights, and, it was not near as cold as outside, so it was decent. I'd probably be colder. So definitely downstairs to that corner storefront where kind of the open house would begin, as we talked about, and most of the presentations take place. That's heated. But whatever you guys want to do as far as discussion on program for the day, I think we have time in December to discuss it more fully, but I don't want to cut that off either.
I mean, this could be had now. Might as well talk about the refreshments just a little bit, because that's not building dependent as much. Is that something we want to, because was Emily just gonna provide the stuff?
I know when we had to postpone it from the November date, she had started some preparation stuff. But
Like from a cost perspective, were we gonna?
I was gonna say, do we have a
reimburse for
budget
cost?
here? or-
we can figure out a budget a little bit. You know, I would think there would be easily $100, $200, something like that available. So we can do whatever. I'm not sure entirely what she had planned.
Okay,
I was assuming kind of cookies and punch it maybe.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that's my forte. Like, I like to do that kind of stuff, so I have no,
here we go.
I was gonna say, I have no problem like picking that up
Yeah.
and going with it. I just didn't know what I had a budget to work with, and
And Daily Bread Market does.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do, their trays are affordable. We get them, we've done like sandwich tray, like the meat and cheese trays for like library events and like
Cool,
staff.
yeah.
Staff lunches too. And so I think we've spent, I think it was like 150, maybe less.
But big tray, I mean.
Yeah, and they're big trays.
Well, I will go, I'll talk to them and see like fruit and veggie and maybe a like cubed cheese and meats and bring it back for December.
Awesome, good. I'm just like some things on the event document, just because it's easy to talk about. And I like to kind of sow the seed so that way it's easier later. Slides and photos, was that something that you were doing, or I don't remember. We talked about this and I don't
Yeah,
remember where we were at.
So Dan and Mark both have a folder of photos, a bunch of old photos. And as we've been going through things and reorganizing things, and if we come across any new photos, we pop them into the folder. So, I mean, I could create a slideshow, or if you guys wanted to create a slideshow.
I can definitely do that. I know you're working on the presentation part.
Yeah.
But I can definitely do
Okay.
just a general slideshow that is going the whole time.
Okay. I didn't want to necessarily volunteer you. I just couldn't remember what we decided, you know. So
Yeah.
we're gathering photos. That's making good progress. Dan, you're saying you're okay with making that into a presentation?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. And Mark and I have talked about doing some large print as well to hang up in a couple spots. Right now it's all decorated. I don't know if anybody has been in there for the Santa Claus and Company that is happening in that corner right now, but it is all decorated. We can think about if we want the Christmas decorations to stay up through January for the open house, or if they need to come down, partially come down.
Be nice to have, wouldn't it?
I was gonna say, it adds a
stuff.
festivity and
Yeah.
it's still January. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's still, people are still having Christmases in January.
Yes, they are. Keep in mind if you do go in there, the Santa's chair and the sleigh actually will not be there in
Right.
January.
That'll come back.
What?
Yeah.
It has
Okay,
to come
now
back
I'm
on
upset.
December 23rd.
So, but yeah, as far as slideshow going, the thought was to have a slideshow going on the screens, projector on the wall, whatever, as the event starts through the whole event. And we kind of have the times on here for some welcome time, Martha doing a presentation on the history, and then Todd or Mark giving a little presentation about basically the present status and future plans, which we'll talk about here in a minute, the RFP and process and where we'll be at that point, and kind of the goal of redevelopment in this project. So that's kind of the tentative plan schedule for the event. And is that time frame still good if we're doing it on a Sunday afternoon, or do we want to just narrow it to 2 to 4?
think one would be kind of tight for a lot of people, especially coming back from church and getting lunch and things like that. Maybe 2 to 5.
I think 2 o'clock's a better starting time.
And everybody okay with a 5 o'clock anytime?
Mhm.
Okay. It's changing right in front of my eyes. And I know we've already talked about TV, so I certainly talk about that right now, but have we nailed down possibility where our mic and speakers?
Yeah, we have that all set, good to go.
Good, okay,
So,
all right. That's all I'm seeing on this event thing that was occurring to me. Does anybody else see anything here that we want to talk about this month? Okay. Moving on from old business A to old business B, Diedrich RFP. Is this you, Mark? Who has information that they want to talk about?
yeah, Mark, Todd, might be whoever, I just wanted to point out a couple of things as far as the dates and let everybody know this has gone out, redevelopment issued this. And certainly open to Mark, Todd, sharing anything you want to share specific about the RFP. But I was going to point out the dates in it, where we are right now. Pre-bid meeting November 12th. We have an additional site visit option. There are a couple potentially interested developers that were not able to be at the meeting yesterday. We have another option for site visit next week for those private developers. Question inquiry closing date. Proposals are due January 23rd. So as Todd mentioned, the proposals coming in right after that. And those will be open at the redevelopment commission meeting on January 27th, which is a public meeting. You're all welcome to that, of course. And then there's a technical review committee that will make their recommendation after reviewing those proposals. They will make that recommendation by memo to redevelopment commission by the 5th, and then redevelopment commission will have a special session on February 10th to ratify or select based on that recommendation from the TRC. So that's the basic timeline of what's happening. I'll share as well. Welcome to read through that, of course, but the right spot.
They're good turnout and the redevelopers interested, like people wanting to do this.
Yeah, it's open to the public. We've got public notice to everyone. We've started more of a direct contact of local people. And it's a small list. There's not really a lot of people that could be qualified, but there's enough. And we're still reaching out to. We've had some say thanks, no thanks, which we're dealing with. We still have several that we're still interested.
So local, you mean like regional or just?
Local as Napanee.
Yeah. I just impressive for us to have some choices though.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
of all,
One concrete goal. New Way Construction was probably one that's we consider not necessarily local. They've done obviously a lot of local work in town, but the other ones were, Napanee residents.
Okay,
And
that's
Napanee
great.
downtown business owners.
Good.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to read through that, I think.
And were they intrigued and like
Oh yeah,
encouraged?
the people that we
Spoke
who
with.
think would do a great job
Uh-huh.
without getting
Yeah.
their preferences. Yeah, they're the ones, and you showed the pictures of the tin ceiling, like, oh, I love it.
Mhm.
Let's save it, let's do it. And yeah, feel free to look over this document. I think we weighted heavily on the historic preservation aspect of it. And even down to, getting those historic tax credits if available. And that's primarily a goal of this building is we've got a great set of drawings that are attachment to this that Kill Architecture did of a historic restoration. as kind of, that's your starting point. This is kind of what we expect. You have some freedom of flexibility. If you're
Right.
gonna do an addition to the back on the alley side or,
Not to change it up too much.
right. But,
Yeah.
you know, we do have a program on the first floor to say, we're looking for creative, unique commercial spaces, something that makes it uniquely Napanee, which is following our master plan. So we mentioned an option like a duck pin bowling in there or a community, rented community space.
Mhm.
And so we may reconfigure some of those storefronts. I don't know, give some flexibility. But really it's basically showing, going back to the original. It's your glass storefronts
Mhm.
with an indentation and operable functioning, not operable, but operable, like there's an actual window transom above that that goes into the open space. We talked to some developers too, so that corner section, maybe Mark, you can know a little bit more history on this one. So in that picture there, it looks like there's some like staircase down into the basement at there. I'm wondering as an architect, like, why would you have so much brick on a corner where you could open that up more on the corner? And not to say you couldn't do something with that, but we talked to Delta developers, like, if you're creative, if your community space is on that corner, you know, I guess we wouldn't be opposed if you opened some of that up or that brick moved down to another section, as long as you meet those architectural design standards of balance, harmony, rhythm, proportion. You know, there's some flexibility there, but everything else is like go with what Kill's showing. We emphasize the replacing the historic parapet on the roof. That's a key element. And even down to the replacement of the second story window. So we're working with Kill Architecture on consulting with us on there, and they've got masters in historic preservation. They're pretty good on teaching that as well. And we even changed it so our intention is to keep the wood windows or a acceptable alternate substitute. We didn't have like keep the windows. We were just saying like replace them in the proper manner. But like we changed some of that language too to say like this is how we want to start the process. We want to start with let's keeping as much existing as possible. But there's still options to replace that, but it would have to kind of.
Yeah, like if it
Kind of
was
go through
rotten or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot, yeah. I mean, we were up there yesterday. It's kind of neat looking through the glass that has a little bit of wave in it. And I'm like, oh, I hate to lose that, but those windows are so shot. There's no insulation value in them. Yeah. So it's kind of a decision that I think I'll probably come back to this board to say, you know, accepting an alternate solution or keeping the original could be something you'll discuss when we get to that.
And if you take into consideration the east side of the Hartman House windows are not the original windows. Those are an approved replacement. So
Okay.
if you look at, I mean, we had to take them to save the building, we had to take them from 6 foot to 4 foot windows. But you can, they're the approved substance.
Okay. You're saying all the windows on the east side or just those ones in the apartment that are smaller?
They're the double windows on this side. And there is a 2 foot window, which used to be a 6 foot window also on the east side.
Okay.
On the inside of this building.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So those are approved because, yeah, in order to save the house, we had to make some cosmetic changes. Leaks.
Okay.
But they are the approved one.
The other thing I just wanted to point out a little bit too, the evaluation criteria, Todd was really driving force of this section for sure, with the guidance of the redevelopment commission. This is the proposals that come back to the technical review committee. We'll look at the proposals and grade them individually, which will be synthesized then, those numbers that are graded. to select as objectively as possible based on these criteria. And it's weighted by the different sections, by their team experience, financial strength, viability. They're really leaning heavily into the design quality, historic preservation, integration is a whole factor in itself, as I mentioned. Creative space, the quality of the designs, their input, and then also leaning heavily into community use. And that was really a huge factor for redevelopment, especially, is that how is this building not just going to look good downtown, but how can it be usable by the community? And when redevelopment is using TIF dollars, that's a big part of really rationalizing TIF dollar usage, is how does this benefit the community, not just from the visual aspect, but usage. And so that's where those two sections are especially heavily weighted, and that they're sketching as well. So I just wanted to point that out for everybody's information as well, to make sure it's historic preservation, because that is a component in this project. Everybody's kind of aware of that RFP and what that looks like. And
You don't want a modern building in downtown, is what you're saying.
Yeah, especially with that. Building.
Right.
But everybody has access to that document, so feel free to use that.
Thank you.
What does TRC mean again?
Technical review.
Okay, you probably already said that.
Yeah,
I glossed by me.
So that'll be the group that will be doing all those proposals. That's made up of 2 members of the redevelopment commission, 2 members of the historic preservation commission, and 3 city planning department staff.
And the reason we do that, obviously, we want to have historic preservation have a say, redevelopment have a say. When you're dealing with 5-member boards, you get 3, that's a quorum. So we're doing 2, 2, and then 3 from the staff, which gives us an odd number.
So this hasn't been formed yet then?
No,
Okay.
and it's not, and that's on the agenda too. Like you're gonna pick your 2 members.
So I was seeing next and then I was like, oh, this hasn't been formed yet.
Yeah.
I'm just
We're gonna
hurrying.
do the
I'm a little
same.
slow here, but
I think we kind of discussed that the planning staff would be myself, Mark, and Dan.
Yeah.
As the ones report on the TRC committee.
what's the estimated time we want to form that?
I think it's on the agenda today. You can do it today, but if not, you're not ready, you could probably.
No, it's on the
Yeah.
agenda. I'm just so, we would pick our 2 today, but then,
Either this month or next month, because the following month, we're gonna be scoring that.
for the next.
Yeah.
Yeah, the scoring won't happen until the proposals are turned in January 23rd. So the TRC doesn't really have anything to do until then.
So let's just nominate the 2 that aren't here.
No, I'm gonna nominate myself.
No, I'm all for that. That was a joke.
I know, but I'm nominating myself.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Well, and so we've actually created a scoring sheet with the questions on it. I'll kind of patch that around to see, because they're very specific questions and there's several questions in each category. But according to our scoring criteria, basically every item gets 1 question worth 5 points. So you're either scoring a 0 or a 5. And you kind of see there's 1 or 2 questions kind of like, this is the category you're looking at, and see how that developer is presenting it. This is the 3rd one that we've done, and I think we're getting better on each one, because the question always comes back, oh, why'd you select that person over me? And it's pretty much a math equation.
Right.
We've had in our other 2 scores, we've had basically the first one, not everyone has the same number 1, number 2, number 3, but they're all number 1, number 2, or 3 in different orders. And then the second one, we were pretty much, everyone kind of fell in almost the same order, even though someone could score really hard, someone could be, I'm kind of nice today. And so they might all have, like, given them high scores and low scores, but they all have the same order.
And maybe it's not for me, because I would probably be hard.
But we've taken that factor out of that. Yeah. And we can make that document available too, if you still want to look that over before making a selection of your.
So the designers, they have access to this too.
Yes, they will. It's pretty much verbatim of the list of criteria, which just flipped into questions.
Okay.
But I think to be fair to the people who want to see like why they didn't score, it's in the proposal. They should know.
Yeah.
And it's a checklist, just go through it, but I'm gonna give them the actual question to say,
Yeah.
These are
well,
what we're,
these what we're asked of the TRC. Did you present, like, what was your financial plan? Did you
Mhm.
present that? How did you,
Yeah.
on historic preservation question, how did you address that question? And here's what the question was. Makes it a little more transparent.
So do we want to, are you interested on?
I,
No,
it
I don't want
interests
to, I don't want to put you in the spot.
Yes, it interests me.
Okay. Do you both, she's definitely yes. Do you want to have a month to think about it?
No, I would be willing to do that.
Okay, so, I'll make a motion for you guys to be our members. Well, one of you is gonna have to
I
second.
support Adam.
Okay.
For you.
Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Wasn't sure how to do that there.
I'll add this to the folder for today as well, this document, evaluation criteria, so you're all able to see that. But the goal will be, and we'll talk about that more, but the goal then will be, if you two are both able to be at that January 23rd public opening
Mhm.
meeting, and then kind of just touch base at the end of that meeting, and then here's your information. Part of the requirements for submission of a proposal are 7 paper copies of the whole proposal. So that each person on the TRC will get that. So public opening, here you go. Hopefully there's not 100 proposals that you have to go through, and you'll have that 10-day period.
So Nick, you made a motion. Was it seconded and voted on?
It was, I'm not sure how you want to count the second. They said they supported each other, so
They each seconded the-
We, yes.
Okay,
however you want to do that,
okay.
but I did make the motion.
2 seconds.
Mhm.
That's the main thing that I wanted to point out on the RFP, unless there are any other questions related to that or Mark. Any comments they'd like.
Okay, moving on to old business C. This has technically been tabled until January, and that's the preservation guidelines updating. We have the very comprehensive Indiana landmarks model template.
And I just threw that on there just as a
Just to keep it on
reminder
our,
for us.
yep,
Do we want to move that? Just a question.
sure, go ahead.
Do we want to move that though to February if we're going to be like, are we going to be talking about the Dietrich stuff? Like, is January going to be a full meeting?
Probably, it's probably a good idea. What do you think?
You want to extend that table now or wait until January and then table further?
I guess we could keep it that way
Keep
with
it,
a note
that's
that we
fine.
might continue it a little later.
Okay. Yeah, it could always come up again in January and then a motion to table it further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That is a good point.
Yeah, it very well could be.
Anything else for old business before we move on to new business? Okay, moving on to new business. 2026 planning session. Do we want to have this in our December meeting, a regular meeting, or do we want to do a special session? So is the sub item there just some possible things for,
Yeah, just what things could be discussed in a planning session for this next year. It just seems like it'd be a good idea to, hey, as we go into, we've really had really positive, I think, action this year, reinvigorating the commission. but perhaps it would be good to look at the next calendar year and say, what are some things that we want to focus on? What are some things that we want to even put on paper in a plan, outline and work towards?
What is the December agenda look like?
At
Is it
this
looking
point-
full or is it?
Not necessarily, no. At this point, it would just be talking about any further plans for the open house.
So I
In
think,
January, which would not be a huge discussion at that point, hearing what Jen has come up with, food-wise budget and kind of solidifying some of those things, but then we also have the January meeting prior to the open house.
Yep.
So at this point, that really would be the only thing on the December agenda.
yeah, I'd say, my opinion is let's just do it in the regular meeting then since it's already an empty meeting.
It's
Guys,
fine.
you're good about that?
Yeah, so kind of come with some ideas of what we're thinking. And then-
That'd be great if anybody has some ideas. I have ideas, but but if anybody has any ideas, obviously it's your guys' commissions.
Help me out here. What will be some, I know this is kind of, I like to kind of sow some seeds ahead of time, but May Historic Preservation Month, maybe Deb, do you have some things that are common that people do for something like that? Or
Yeah, sometimes it depends on the community and what all they've got going on, but they often do something that's public, that gets public involved. So maybe honoring a person or several people that own buildings that they've done a really nice job with.
Okay.
Whether or not they're locally designated, but just showing the community, we appreciate what you've done. You know, this is what we'd like to see for our community. Sometimes they just do an open house where they highlight some of the historic buildings in town that maybe are designated or National Register districts, that kind of thing. Yeah, just something to bring the community in and help them really realize we've got some great buildings here and they really add to the value and even to the economy of our town. So whether that's having them in to have a snack, I've seen people do like scavenger hunt things that go on during the month. Some of them post stuff on their Facebook page during the month. But usually there's like one specific event. And I think you guys in the past, according to my old files, did do some recognitions where you give,
They had a dinner.
Used to have a awards night.
Yeah, they had
and
awards
awards
night dinner.
If you,
wow,
yeah, like they did historian, historic educator, property preservation, property beautification, and I think there was a fifth.
There was a business one.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So historic business,
wow. Okay.
and there was criteria for each of them as well.
Sounds like you've got good options.
Would that be in the file, like in file somewhere, City Hall, or would
should
it be?
I mean, I have one of the awards, so I could go grab it if you want.
Well, I'm thinking the
see it.
criteria, what they used.
I know we have some files over there that
Yeah.
talk about the awards nights for the local years and different things.
yeah,
Well,
we
that's
might
good.
have it in our
Discussion.
files. I don't,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I
Yeah.
haven't dug back to see of what all's in there, but I've seen some
Okay.
pictures and
Mhm.
yeah,
Because for me, that
that's-
was a blank slate, but it sounds like it's definitely not a blank slate. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah.
what would that be? You know, like, oh, we have all this already there.
Yeah, and it was usually like they would usually have refreshments. They would actually have it here. And they would have refreshments, they would have a small program. And then they would give the awards.
I definitely like the idea of recognizing what some of our businesses have done downtown. Maybe we've done it previously, but really, I mean, you know, two that come to my mind, you know, Main Street and Sweet Cheese, you know, those two have done an excellent job. And I know there's others. Thingamabobbles, what's the one that's beside Thingamabobbles?
1874.
What is that? Is that antique shop?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I haven't been in there yet.
Dry goods.
Okay, yeah, but, I mean, we have so many good options here. So,
Yeah, that'd be neat to recognize some of those things that have happened in recent years publicly and even acknowledging redevelopment commissions and in a couple of those projects.
Yeah, and so for the Heritage Collection ourselves, we've been working with an organization out of Massachusetts called the Veneto Experience, and we're building an experience So part of our experience is actually walking the downtown and including our theme for our whole experience is small businesses, resilience, and resurgence. And also throwing in community there as well. So we would, if you guys would want to partner with us, we would be happy to run that experience as well, because our experience is going to be ready by March.
And it's edible.
Yes, it is edible. So there is a food component to it.
Nice. Edible's always good. What's the date?
Hmm?
What's the day?
Yeah. So because we're doing a walk downtown and then
Tell them the part that we're waiting on the price, but the cool part.
so the exciting part, we're gonna partner with Kappas, Napanee, and they're gonna create us charcuterie boards.
Like little, like personalized little
to-
ones.
And they're gonna have the Heritage Collection logo on them as well as Kappas's logo. So we'll have those to sell. So, and they're made from the scraps of the factory floor. So everything of our experience is Napanee based.
And is that a single event or that will be ongoing?
It'll be ongoing. It'll be something that we offer periodically.
So you bring your kitty board and
Yeah, your
Yeah.
refills.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Her sister asked if each time she comes, if she can get a new board.
yeah, because like my sister lives in Oregon, so but she is a Kappas fan. Like she loves Kappas Napanee. If she could afford a new Kappas kitchen, she would have a Kappas kitchen in her house. But yeah, and then we'll also be teaching people how to make Amish peanut butter.
Oh,
So yeah, we would be happy to partner with you guys, especially for Historic Preservation Month, because we would be highlighting a lot of the downtown. The company that we work with, that we've been working with, they've been here 2 or 3 times already. So they're excited about it. So it makes us even more excited.
Here's our funny, since everybody's from here. We called it the sight, sound, and taste kind of thing. But we also added the smell because when they were here, the guy is from Massachusetts, and we started our walk and a hog truck went by and he was like, oh. So we're like, I told him the last time, I said, we're trying to find a farmer that will just drive a hog truck around. He's like, no, you don't need to do that.
you also just have the regular road apples that are.
Yeah.
they're processing over at the factory.
There you go.
Fried chickens.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's like, where's that fried chicken? I really wish I knew.
Yeah, but so it highlights all of our stops on our experience are highlighting the downtown and what has done. So like the Dietrich building is going to be on our experience and really getting people excited for what's to come up with it. Neighbors, Sweet G's, Hunters,
John's
John's Butcher Shop,
coffee.
the coffee, possibly the roastery. I gotta talk to them.
We're going to talk about when we get back Kappas and the orchard because they wanted us to try and fit those in. We're like, we can't walk people.
It's a long walk.
That's a long walk.
It's a long walk. So we're not only
Okay,
it's
you
not
gotta think
only
of old
about
people.
us, but it's about all of Napanee. So
We have people with walkers and canes.
There you go.
yeah.
Horse-drawn golf cart.
Maybe what's their name?
Gen Y. Do you think
Maybe Gen Y will get us that buggy,
Yeah.
that buggy, and let us drive the big buggy cart around.
Even the Dutch Destroyer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dutch Destroyer.
It doesn't really scream
Put that
out.
up for us.
It doesn't.
I was gonna say the one time I saw it going down the road, it was actually being towed.
Try living across the street from it.
Oh.
This going back to Dietrich a little bit, just to remind you guys, I do own that domain name I bought. If we want to throw something up, I can probably vibe code anything using AI within about an hour or two. If you want to have any sort of pictures or, advertisement of the event or anything, it's not really a big commitment for me to. I would just need someone to come and say, hey, we want to do this, and okay, I'll throw that up. And then at some point, if someone wants to buy the domain name, or I'll give it to them if they want to have it in their ownership or whatever, that's fine. But
Would be cool just to put up some slides. So,
Or even the RFP too.
Yeah, basically, I just want you to, I don't want to have to think about what I put up there. So
Right.
come up with some stuff you want up there and I'll put it up there. So I think it's DedrickBuilding.com, whatever it is. So,
Sorry, I remember you did that in 2 seconds last.
yeah, I was just at the meeting. I was like, this is what I do. So I've got, a bunch of servers, it's easy just to throw it up there. So.
Yeah.
So, can we put that on next month's agenda so that way actually something happens?
But
Just, do we want to put some stuff on that website? I just don't want it to be forgotten because
yes,
I think it's a great opportunity, especially as we're trying to drive public awareness, give them a link.
yeah, that'd be great. And
Yeah.
especially if, once the building comes into private ownership and then in developer hands.
Then I just give it to them.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what you want to do.
I don't care. I'm not
Sell
trying to
it
make
for
money.
$1 million.
No, no.
But it'd be great for them.
Yeah.
Potentially
Yeah.
to have that. So that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I definitely have that on the agenda,
Okay.
for December. We can talk about, open house plans. We can talk about some 2026 planning. And then his website.
Do you have an idea with the scavenger hunt, like to let the community just kind of look for things, like just as a fun for the month?
Yeah, it was a fun, Angola did that a while back. Yeah, so, and some of the places that they found, they were businesses and then maybe some businesses cooperated and gave out a little something,
Oh, yeah.
just to make it interesting.
Yeah.
But then all of them,
Has done some similar kind of things, but not from a historic standpoint. So the town proper would be used to that.
Do we have our own Apple? Do we have an Apple or are we just under planning?
Oh, yes, the logo.
Yeah, we just have to play. We have the original logo that's on that.
Well, because my thought was if we even did like a sticker that they could like with historic you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? To like,
You
Oh,
got
that's
a
good.
sticker guy?
I got a sticker lady.
just to, I mean,
Yeah, it's a good
Some of
idea.
my buildings for my Lego in my office are missing the names for the stores. So
That'd be a handy sticker around there. And that's something, speaking of logos, that's something that's been in my mind as well. This is obviously the old original logo, but does that want to look different at some point? Or just get somebody to, because obviously that's not high resolution, that's pretty old resolution. Get something to look different, get something fitting more with the city's theme, Apple theme, or just enhance that to look a little better. I mean, that's just been in my mind.
It's a good idea.
Not that anything has to happen, but
Yeah, and kind of, sorry, as we get off the logo talk, but I have talked with Visit Napanee before to do a more historical event where we would have businesses involved and they would have old pictures in there. They'd be open during a certain time. They would have the old pictures, possibly the old business owners in there as well, talking about them. So if they reach out again to possibly do something like that, we can obviously get historic preservation involved as well with that.
that could be a cool tie-in, sure.
oh, I gotta go to another meeting. Sorry.
Mark, this is the part where I'm supposed to recognize
don't
you.
forget
Visit
to come
ready.
get your stuff.
I'll have to do that probably this afternoon.
That's fine.
If you don't come get yourself, I'll just drop it off on your doorstep.
Mhm.
I'll just load up my wagon and walk across the street.
Mhm.
Okay, I just recognize the visitor on the left. Announcements is just next meeting, December 11th at 9 a.m., City Hall Council Chambers.
Yeah, I think we're gonna start doing all our meetings in the council chambers. Partly, the Historic Preservation Commission used to always meet in council chambers. Being, as Deb has mentioned, the phrase has been sticking in my head, quasi judicial.
Yeah.
Governing body, it seems to be an appropriate place, especially as we hopefully start looking at, your applications for local, designation. Here are applications for, certificate of appropriateness, approval, and things like that. So that the the setting is a little bit better, and especially if we start having more public attendance at all, we're, you know, a little crowded in these kind of quarters. And obviously with museum and library use, this conference room and these areas will be pretty busy over the next year as Martha is scheduling. everything.
So that's where like court is and stuff,
Yes.
not the conference room.
Correct. We met in the conference room once or
Mhm.
twice already. So this would be
City Hall, or yeah.
in City Hall,
Yeah,
in that building down around. the
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because historic preservation used to meet here all the time, and then they moved to
Mhm.
council chambers.
So that's kind of been a thought. Everybody's got, actually
And-
have little name placards ready for everybody.
Can I was going to offer and now you moved it and now I'm like, I'm still gonna offer, but because it's December and I just wanted to be nice, I was gonna offer to bring like a breakfast, like make like a, you know, little party and bring breakfast. Is it still okay to have that in there? Okay.
Now I'm really gonna put this on my calendar.
Do we want to, does it work for everybody? Do we want to even do a little breakfast before the meeting? Maybe we could do that in the conference room and then start. the
Yeah,
meeting?
That's fine.
That would
we
be a
can do
good
that.
idea.
Does
Yeah,
that work for you?
that's
Alan?
fine.
I think that.
Yeah.
So if we met at 8:30 in the conference room, breakfast, and then 9 o'clock, transition into the meeting.
That'll work.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
Do you need help with food stuff?
No.
Or
I told you, it's my thing.
are we doing like big breakfast or smaller? I'm okay either way. I
Just need to
wanna
know.
if I should eat that one before.
How do I think?
I'm a
I'm,
breakfast guy, so, yeah. I plan to.
I mean, I was raised in this area, like when you,
Okay,
when you
all right,
cook,
big breakfast.
yeah, see.
Okay.
I mean, I'm like, wait. Fruit and a roll is not breakfast.
Over top and a banana.
Correct.
Okay.
Except for those really, really good cookies that we had at the Wellfield,
Oh, those were, yeah. Yeah,
Wellfield Botanical
Oh.
Gardens. Those things were so good.
yeah, I don't know who
Remember-
made those. Those were, she's right.
Fair enough. Okay.
But I'm not going to Elkhart for it. First thing in the morning, so.
All right, I'm gonna
All right.
make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
All right.
Opposed, same side. I'm still waiting for the day when someone opposes to adjourn.
Never seen.
All right,
that
I'm doing it. I'm doing it next month.
Yeah, we gave you a challenge.
Uh-huh,
so
you
All
did.
right, that'll be fun.
Uh-huh.
I would just give you all
The
a
best part
reminder
is,
though.
I meant to actually ask you